grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She said, Kiwi, don't you run so fast. You might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes out in the grass. Grandma's hand.
Hey everybody, it's Kimberly Eichelle and welcome to another episode of Talented Television. I have truly missed you all. Oh my gosh. So first of all, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Also, Happy Valentine's Day. And y'all, Happy Black History Month. For real. Wakanda forever. I'm so excited. I have a special guest with me today. This Las Vegas and beyond is Mr. Markevius Faulkner. I'm so glad to have him here today. He's a man of many talents, many things you're about to find out about him. So stay tuned. Markevius, welcome to Talented Television.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. You don't even understand.
I'm excited to have you here. I feel truly blessed.
Hey.
You know, first of all, because blessed. Because I know you don't do many interviews. I know you're asked to do interviews and things like that. So for you to give me a yes means a lot.
It means I love you.
It does.
And I want to be here. I want to be here. So
thank you so much.
Let's do it.
So let's find out who Markevius is, because everyone may not know a lot about you. So I kind of want to go back. Okay. And then we're going to come forward into where we are today, okay? I know we're going to go on this journey.
All right.
Let's talk about where you grew up. Where are you from? And tell me kind of how childhood and things were for you.
I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
My childhood was a pretty cool childhood. It was a little different, but it was a pretty cool childhood. I really had a good time. My mom is a phenomenal person. She's a nurse.
Nice.
So when you get sick, my mom would go and create all kinds of concoctions
to get you well.
You know, you couldn't play sick in our house. And my dad is a great guy. I didn't necessarily grow up with my dad.
Okay.
in the house, so I struggle with some things having the absence of my father. I didn't understand why I carried the last name of a guy that I really didn't know that well. So that kind of shaped some things along my journey. But my child was great because I was blessed enough to be connected to a church body by the New Olivet Baptist Church in the community I'm from. And that kind of really, in a sense, saved my life, being connected to those men, those women, and those examples and role models there. So, my child was cool. I grew up, in Memphis, of course. I grew up in a community called Orange Mound Community, which is a very cultural, black-owned businesses. African Americans own their own homes. Back in the day, it was kind of like Memphis's Harlem, in a sense.
Gotcha.
So we had our own doctors, own lawyers, own, of course, churches are 150, years old. So I grew up around that kind of black excellence.
Beautiful.
At the same time. So
that's what kind of helped your hood, huh?
Yeah, that's my hood.
So that's what kind of helped shape you and bring you to who you are today.
Right.
So tell me, when did you realize that music was your thing?
Oh, I can't even. When did I realize that music was my thing? Music has always been in my family. I have an aunt that sings. She sang, I don't know if it was, I guess it was disco, period. Her name is Anita Ward. She sang, "You Can Ring My Bell."
Oh my gosh. Okay,
right.
wait. That's your auntie?
That's my aunt.
Okay, wait. No, I'm serious. Wait.
Kel didn't know
That's
this.
your aunt?
Yes, that's my aunt.
Okay, when I was a kid, so I was around. Okay, now I'm giving too much away. Okay, but when I was younger, Ring My Bell was my jam. My
Are you
mama
serious?
would tell you that.
Wow.
So I would sing that, but I added words to it. So I should have known that I was going to be like a writer then.
Right.
So I would kind of merge two songs together. So I would do Ring My Bell, right? And then I would do like this other song, Disco Duck, together.
Okay.
So I
you
put
did a
the
little medley.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a medley as a kid, but Ring My Bell was my jam, so that's awesome.
Right. So I
Not to cut you off, but I'm so excited. Like, oh my God,
Really?
my
I
mama
didn't know
would
that.
tell you that
Really?
that was
Wow.
my jam.
Wow, yeah, that's my aunt. But my earliest memories was even in preschool. So my grandmother was one of the directors of the daycare that I attended called Mount Pisgah.
Mount Pisgah.
In the heartbeat of Orange Mound, and there was a guy named Mr. Ferguson. So it was a church daycare in a sense, and a guy named Mr. Ferguson, he had a black upright piano, and we would do devotion. Of course, I'm not paying attention in devotion because Mr. Ferguson is on his piano,
Right.
And just dun 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 dun. He was play out. I was like, oh my God, I want to do that.
Wow.
I wasn't even in kindergarten yet. I was a little kid, and I remember that. I also have another memory that kind of sparked my musical interest. My uncle, we call him Boo Baby.
Boo Baby.
His name is Steve.
Black
but
people will show put some names on folks, huh?
we call him Boo Baby, and I remember going over my Uncle Boo Baby's house, and he was playing a DVD. No, it wasn't a DVD, but he was playing a video then, and it was like these men on stage, and this guy kept saying, "Can I let Daddy sing? Can I let Daddy sing?" And they were singing in the heavenly choir. I didn't know until I was an adult that it was the Canton Spirituals.
Oh, wow.
But whatever that was, I felt something like,
Wow.
I gotta do that. I don't know what that is, like what they holding.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
But I
just
want some of that.
I just want some of that. So those are some of my experiences growing up, and of course I mentioned being a part of Olivet. So at Olivet it's such a musical church. So as a kid, I remember seeing. So there's my pastor at that church is Kenneth Whalum. His brother is Kirk Whalum, who's a famous saxophone player.
So you have music all around you.
us. So it was nothing for us to see the #1 charting artist coming to our church on Sundays. You know, it was that was the norm for us because he played on "I Will Always Love You." It was just it was a normal thing, just being in that community. So that was some of my earliest experiences and.
So you had a beautiful upbringing, and that's kind of how you fell in love with music.
It was my outlet because my upbringing maybe wasn't so beautiful to me, but music was an escape. It was kind of where I found my identity and sounds and music and colors and that whole thing. So,
right. Well, I definitely believe that we have a divine way in life, and so it's kind of like music had already been around you, and so you were drawn to it, and it was drawn to you, right?
Right. It called me,
and you answered. So tell me this: if you heard a song on the radio right now, or we were out somewhere and a song came on and you was like, that's my jam.
Okay.
What would that song be?
Oh my God. So everyone who knows me personally, this is my first time really expressing this.
Okay.
Talented television. I'm nervous. She's going to be asking, she's pulling stuff out of me.
Yes.
But my most favorite song in the entire, I have a favorite artist, right?
Okay.
But my favorite artist didn't write my favorite song.
Okay.
My favorite song, I have two. My favorite song is "Giving You the Best That I Got" by Anita Baker.
Oh, yes.
That is my favorite song.
What you know about
in the
that?
whole world, nothing. No, just
Man,
kidding.
I'm like, what you know
That's my
about
most
that?
favorite song in the entire world. It's the imagery, the storytelling. Just this is my most favorite
And her
song.
voice on it
Yes.
is amazing.
And you know my second most favorite song, and that's why I love you so much, because the first time I heard you sing, you sang Thank You, Lord by Walter Hawkins.
Wow.
At an event
Yes.
here. And that is I listen to both of those songs every single morning of my life. And I was like, who is that? She sounds so good. And it's just my favorite song.
Oh my goodness.
And I heard dun 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 dun.
You said, uh-oh.
I was like, oh, well, I just got to Vegas.
Thank you
and
so
that's
much.
That's my introduction of you.
Wow.
Who is this lady singing my favorite song? And
Right.
you blew it out the water. And that's I love that song. And I think I like that song because I know you didn't ask me this, but I like that song when I was a kid. We would go to the CME church, the Methodist church, and one year our church burnt down.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was going around burning churches down. It was like early 90s or so, and I remember we were cleaning up and they were reconstructing a new church, and my mom, she was just walking through like just the beams and she was singing, "Thank you, Lord, for all you." No, my mom can't really sing. I'm sorry, Mom. Mom can't really sing, right? But I remember, and I had never heard the song before.
She put it in you. That's what it was.
I never heard the song before.
Gotcha.
And now that song is like, it's just sketched in my DNA.
Ain't that something?
Because I'm so grateful for like all that God has done for me and is going to do.
Yeah.
That's just the least you can say is thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Like, and you
Yes.
sung that, you killed it.
Oh, thank you so
killed
much.
it. You
Thank
killed
you. I'll never forget when I met you as well. Around the same time, it had to be the same time.
Yeah.
You were singing as well, and you sung Fred Hammond, and so everyone was like, "Who's the new person?" You know, I had been in, who the new dude coming in? But you came in, and you kind of came in. I'll say with a presence to you. You know what I'm saying? So meaning when you came in, it was like, yeah, I'm new, but I got something to do. I got something to say, and I'm gonna put it out there. And so that was a beautiful thing. And just getting to know you over the years, that's all it's been. It's a beautiful thing, a beautiful journey. So yes.
I didn't tell her to say that at all.
What goes on in your head when you're creating music?
That's a very complex question.
I want to hear it.
Because something's wrong with my head. But my project, the CD you're talking about, I have a CD called Day One. It was my first project.
Day One. Yes.
A lot of those songs I wrote probably at 13,
Wow.
14. So I don't know. I was writing from just experiences. Just you 13, you ain't experienced a whole lot. But I was just writing from my experiences. The childhood pain that I may have experienced.
Right.
I wrote a song called One by One, and that's Jehovah God One by One, and that's from that.
And that's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
A beautiful song.
And I was a kid just writing that. So sometimes I have dreams. I just had a dream not too long ago, and sometimes like in the dream, it's so weird to try to explain. I've never explained it before, but sometimes I have a dream and there are trees like flowing in the dream, and they have sounds coming out of them.
Wow.
So in my dream, it's like I want to hurry up and wake up so I can kind of remember. You ever sung something in a dream and you woke up and couldn't remember it, or an idea or something? That happens to me a lot. Okay, it was some trees one time singing to me in my dream, and it was like 3, and they felt like women presence. And they had like little violins and stuff, and they were like kind of hunched over trying to teach me a song.
Wow.
Like, this is how it go. Remember, I'm trying to, they was like, no, I want to tell them this. I want to tell them. And I'm like, I got to wake up. I got to get to the piano.
Yes.
So sometimes that happens. Sometimes I can walk past a conversation that somebody is having it. And you know how people can talk and they don't know. They be like, how you doing? And I hear, da-da-dum.
Wow.
Da-da-dum. 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 Like you just hear like melodies and stuff like that. So it's just like different things. I don't have one set way that I like to write or hear music.
And I get what you're saying. Everyone has their way of developing music. As you know, I'm a writer as well.
Right.
And so...
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Somebody. Come on, somebody.
But I love to, once I hear something, like you said, it just kind of like drops to you. And so I think just for me, things are kind of different because I'll hear a song in my head and it's like God gives me the whole thing.
Wow.
It's like I know the way that I want the song to go. It's not just the lyrics. And so it sounds like you write that way as well.
Right.
It's not just the lyrics. This is my song,
Right,
you know.
right.
What's one of the most important things that you've learned being in the music industry? One of the most important lessons that you may have learned being in the music industry?
One of the most important lessons I've learned, it has nothing to do with music. It's having discipline.
That's good.
There are a lot of creative people that, and at some parts of my life, sometimes I have to remember to have discipline. I have to correct myself because sometimes you're so creative, it could be hard to take the back seat and you know you can drive. So having that discipline to be the support to another artist.
Right.
Or having a discipline to know you're not the leader in this environment,
in this arena,
on this platform. You're here supporting someone else. So I'm learning that and also really perfecting your craft and studying, like being a student. I've always been a student because I'm a nerd, right? But just really being a student. So one of my friends, Frankie Moreno, he always, and my boss in a sense too, because I travel with him too, but he will always tell me and tell a lot of young people, he would say like, okay, who's your favorite artist? Now who's their favorite artist? Now study their favorite artist. Now study their favorite artist.
Now that's
so
good.
You can become a well-rounded, and you'll know why Bruno Mars is Bruno Mars. There is no Bruno Mars without James Brown.
Right.
You know, there's no James Brown maybe without Sammy Davis. You know, you got to kind of go back and study the entire journey of an
or
artist.
Lineage.
Right, right. So those are two things I learned: the discipline and being a student.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Tell me some of the quirkiness or quirky things about you. What are some of the things that kind of make you tick and that get you into the zone for music? And not just music, writing. This man is a writer, musician, a teacher, so I kind of want to touch on those things, but tell me a little bit about the quirky side of you, because everyone doesn't know what makes Markevius tick.
What makes me tick? I like some good food.
You like to eat.
You want me to be creative? Let's have some good food.
Feed you.
Yeah, I ain't just talking about just we ordering just some wings or something. I'm talking about some good food.
What's good food?
Some good home cooked food, the right seasoning. Like, you know, people say soul food is you cooking with love. I never say my grandma measure anything.
No,
she'd be like,
never.
Let's put a little bit more in there. A little bit. That's enough.
Good right there.
Right. And would tell you, she'd be in the living room. All right, put some more. No, that's too much. That's too much. All right, that's good. Now mix it. You know.
Yes.
So what gets me like all in the mood to create is just some good food. I like peace and quiet. My house where I live is very quiet.
Gotcha.
I'm not a very noisy person at home. I'm not always blasting music.
Right.
And when I listen to music, if I want to get inspired, I don't listen to a lot of lyrics and a lot of people. That's my favorite instrument, the voice, of course, but I listen to like instrumentation and listen to like what story the music is telling and get inspired that way. So it's different things that inspire me to write for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am here at Melodic Minds, which you have opened recently, and it's taken off. Actually, it has taken off. I see you all over social media. I see the commercials. I'm like, get it, friend. But to those who don't know who you are, and they may say, who does Markevius, what gives him the right to teach? What gives you the
right.
right to teach somebody?
Right, what gives me the right? I was reading something a while ago, and they say it was saying that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, or not an expert. I think it was to at least get you in the vein of being good or decent at something. So I'm naturally, if you give me some amazing news, I want to teach it. I want to share. That's a whole different thing. It's just you and the piano. It's still a command. It's still a statement because it's still saying boom, boom, boom. But now the music is in. Now, guys, we would have to break off into their false and figure out a way to pull it forward. But you don't have to because you sing high anyway. So you can just sing it all full and give us the same teach it. I want to share what I learned.
Right.
Like the go tell it on the mountains. I'm really that
You
dude.
like over the hill and everywhere.
If someone shows me how to build a car out of water, I have to tell somebody.
Right.
So it wasn't that it's not that I think I'm like the most amazing vocal coach or the most amazing musician or singer or something like that. It's just little things I learned along the way I gotta share with my friends that sing.
I love that.
So it's not, I don't think I'm like some, that kind of thing, but if I learned a new breathing exercise, I gotta let him know.
Awesome.
Like, okay, I gotta
And
show
that's
you
a
this.
beautiful thing because, when I ask what gives you the right, people don't know that you're very humble. You're very humble. Anytime that I've seen you, it's never been this air about you or, oh, hey, Kim, how people get to a level.
Yeah.
Because you've worked with many people. People don't know, some of the people that you've worked with, the Jacqueline Carrs and Frankie Marino and Shaka Khans and all of those people that you've worked with. What keeps you grounded? Because you're a people person. Like, I've never had an issue with, oh, hey, girl, and you just go on about your business. It's love that you give out, and I truly feel that. So what keeps you grounded and humble?
I don't know if anything keeps me lifted. Nothing keeps me lifted where I have to, I got to stay grounded. Because I know where I come from.
Come on.
I know how we went without in certain areas.
Yeah.
I know how my mom had to sacrifice and stuff. So you call me Markevius. I got a mother and cousins and family that call me Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Right. So I look in the mirror, I see Kiwi. I don't think about the stuff I've done. That's stuff to me.
Yeah.
And the stuff I've done, it ain't even close to what I journal about every day.
Yeah.
Or what I put on my digital vision board and what I put
I love it.
Like y'all celebrating this, and I'm grateful too. The Bible say, do not despise the small beginnings. So I'm very grateful for everything, but you have no clue of the stuff I really want to do.
Wow.
These are steps.
If we could just take a look into the brain.
Right. So what keeps me grounded is I'm not lifted. I hadn't. There are some things I hadn't accomplished.
Right.
I feel like I'm just still climbing
up the mountain,
still going. And I have regular people around me. I don't I'm friends with people up here and people down here and all in between. Right. When I was 12 years old, I really believed this. I believe God told me, he was like, hey man, I trust you with people. Right. So I don't think my gift is music.
Okay.
I think my gift is encouragement.
That's beautiful.
So I just use whatever vehicle that I feel like practicing on. If I was a mechanic, I'm gonna tell everybody on my block how to be a mechanic. And everybody's so top secret with things like,
secret.
how do you get your song registered? And and everything is so top secret, and they just put a price tag on it, and you got to pay all this money with stuff you can Google now.
Yes,
so what keeps me grounded? I ain't lifted. And it's stuff I don't know as a vocal coach, as a musician, something I don't know, I promise you, I'm going to call and text you later because I'm going to go home and find out or call somebody who do know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing.
And that's for real, for real.
I believe it. I know it's for real, for real.
That's for real. One of my most favorite experiences was going to Australia.
Me too.
That's
What
one of my
part?
favorite. We were in Sydney. We
Okay.
were also in Darwin, Australia.
Wow.
And Darwin is like Australia. Like
Yes.
it's like
Hey, mate.
good of Australia,
Like,
right?
hello, mate.
And just to see the majestic like outback of Australia and the animals I ain't never seen before, and just the greenery and the water and the hills, and
Isn't it
it
beautiful?
was the sunset. We would go and just watch the sunset
Wow.
every night on the pool. And I was like, man, this is a great life to live, to be a musician, to sing and dance and perform, and to get paid to do this.
To get paid on
and
top
get
of
paid
that.
to do this. And like, I didn't do anything amazing. I just stayed focused, and I, build relationships and network. My motto is network to get work.
Wow.
But Australia was a
Let me
great
tuck
place.
that one away.
Yeah.
Network to get work.
Right. And also, just not too long ago, I had the opportunity to perform at Carnegie Hall. I'm walking on this stage, and I'm not walking by myself. Of course, I'm physically with band members and
Right.
this 100-piece orchestra.
Wow.
But I'm an African-American male walking onto this stage where black people weren't always allowed to perform. And still to this day, not a whole lot of black people performed at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
So to walk even in the hallways and be in a dressing room where Ella Fitzgerald could have stood and did her makeup.
Yeah.
Or Duke Ellington probably was warming up on the piano and on this piano,
Yes.
who knows, but to walk on that stage, that was an amazing feeling, because like I said, I wasn't walking by myself, but I was walking with my ancestors.
Yes.
I was walking with my grandmother on me, walking with the people who supported me, Mr. Ferguson,
Yeah.
from my that
It all
guy
started coming together.
It was like,
It was that
in the
tree
wo-
again.
Yes, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Because most of my friends are even more talented than me.
Wow.
Than I am, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know 12-year-olds that can sing Rings Around Me.
Okay.
That can teach and direct, and
Yeah.
and people in Las Vegas are extremely talented.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. How did I get here? And I keep remembering, God said, I trust you with people.
With people.
And your gift will make room for you.
Yes, indeed.
Because like I always say, people are more talented than me, and this may be my ego, but it ain't a lot of people that's gonna outwork me. Now you can out-talent me, but you're not gonna outwork me.
You like not outwork.
You ain't gonna outwork me.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you sleep,
And
I'm
you
reading
are.
how the voice works.
Yeah. Yes, you're definitely a person that I see that is a go-getter. You're always going nonstop, your schedule with your students and things like that. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because you are working that gift, that talent that's been given to you. Thank you for watching today's episode with Mr. Markevius Faulkner. But wait, there's even more. Markevius is going to teach me a few things. So press that subscribe button, honey. You don't want to miss the next episode. And as a matter of fact, ring that bell as well, honey. You never know who's going to be on Talented Television, and you don't want to miss a thing. So watch, comment, subscribe, and until next time,